It all didn't make sense at that point in time, but later on in life, I realized that everything happens in life for a reason. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And how are we all doing? Okay, what I'll be discussing today spanned from my thoughts earlier this week. I was, thinking about something that happened to me some years back, and um, I kept thinking about it, and I'm like, I was filled with gratitude. I was just ruminating on things to thank God about this week, and that scenario came to play, and it gave me more reasons to give thanks to God. Yeah. I could remember I gained admission to a university then, and I, for some reasons, I had to leave the university. I was supposed to be in my second year when I left, and then I came back home to come and write another chant. Well, that will be a story for another day. And I came back home. My friends, I have friends that are already in school already. Me coming back home, it was a whole lot. And I I realized that okay, I'm in this situation now, and I just need to make the best out of it. I don't really know what or would I say I was not sure of what the future hold. I was just like starting all over again. I prepared for my jam so much, like I had never prepared for an exam the way I prepared for my jam that year. But guess what? When the results came out, that was the worst score I would ever have in jam. Like I wrote that would be my third attempt at jam. It was my second attempt at jam that gave me the admission at the previous institution I was. And this happened to now be the third jam I've been writing. And my score for that jam was the worst ever. I cried my eyes out. Like I didn't even know how to, break the news to my to my parents. Like that thought of disappointment, that thought of I'd prepared so much for this, and where would this happen? There were so many thoughts running through my head. Like at that point in time, I felt like the ground should just open up and swallow me. I was, I was so anxious to see that result because I was expecting more. What? When it's balloon, you blow a balloon and something punctured the balloon, and then the balloon gets deflated. That was how my confidence went from 100 to zero. Like I felt I felt like, is this like what living again? Like there were so many thoughts running through my head that moment. Like I was confused, I was dejected, I was sad. It was a bad one. And I I couldn't go home to break news to my parents, and my father in the Lord followed me into his place, and then he followed me to my parents' place, and then he broke the news for them. And my mom was so disappointed. My dad was like, he was also disappointed. And I spoke to my parents, and prayed with me, prayed with them, and it was like, he gave us prayer points that day, and he said, for my sake, God will break protocol. And believe you me, God indeed broke protocol because that year, JAMB reduced the score for university admission that year. and I was able to meet up with the new cutoff mark that was given for students, because generally there was like a mass failure that year, and later on we got to know about that, and Jemba to sit, and I mean the senator to sit, and then the score was reduced and all, and I was fortunate enough to have the cutoff mark for the new cutoff mark for university. And you know fast forward, I gained the admission to the university. It was like a dream come true. Like I never expected that I would gain admission that year, because it was looking you like I felt I wasn't hope again. Like I didn't see anything good coming out of that school I had. But guess what? God did it, and I gained admission into the university that year. And the course I was admitted for was a 5-year course, and my mom was like, it's a 5-year course. These 5 years, 5 years. When will these 5 years come and go? I always tell my mom that it's just 5 years. Before you know it now, 5 years will be over. Like, she'll be like, you, this girl, you're just so confident. You just feel like it's, I told her, it is me studying this. It is me studying the course. And I definitely knew that God that has started with me will definitely see me through to the end. And just like a flash, 5 years came and went, and I graduated. And it did not just stop there. At that point in time, it was looking like, is it that I'm not going to go to the university again and all, like what will become of my life and all and all. But at the end of the day, I graduated from the university. I went for service. I got a job. After my service year, a few months after my service year, I got a job. And, God has been faithful ever since then. And, I'm just using this to encourage somebody out there that, you feel like in your career you're stagnant, or things are not working out the way you feel they should work out. That's not the end of the road. Look at the bigger picture. God, who has started this journey with you, will definitely see you through. He can never, never leave you hanging. And that is always what is always holding me, or whenever I'm passing through a phase in life, I'm always confident of the fact that God, who has seen me through different phases of my life, will definitely see me through this phase. So it's not the end of the road for you. You feel like, you feel like, you is it an admission you're waiting for and it's not forthcoming? Don't be discouraged. It definitely would come. When it would come, it's going to come and God will be glorified. It definitely might mean that probably that place you are in, it's not, mind you, the previous institution I was, I felt like at some point that was not where God wanted me to be. And the purpose why I went there finally unfolded years later. So um in every phase of our life, there's always a reason why God is taking us through a phase. It might not be easy, like I said earlier, at that point in time when I saw my score, I felt like that is the end of the world. Yeah, that thought came because I was so sad, and that was just my own thinking at that point in time. I didn't know better. I started feeling like there's nothing left for me in life. I'm not seeing the bigger picture. So I'm encouraging you this time that don't feel left out. God is still in the business of doing things. And when He would do it, the whole world would see and then they would celebrate with you. Um there are times that things come our way, but that should not put us down, or that should not make us feel some sort of ways, because God is still in the picture. If it's a business that is not booming as it ought to be, you're going through a phase in that business and you feel like, is this business not for me? Is this why is this thing not why is this thing not going my way? And yeah, as long as God is with you on that journey, you will definitely have cause to testify. So, whatever phase you are going through, career wise, business wise, financial wise, and in every area. Um, as long as God is with you on that journey, He would not leave you hanging. Um, so, but in all things, be grateful to God. Be grateful for where you are currently. Be grateful for where God has taken you from. You are not where you used to be. Yes, that is one thing to be appreciative of. I'm not where I used to be. So you are not where you used to be. Be grateful for where you are currently, and be grateful in advance for where God is taking you through. Like I said, this spanned out from my thought earlier this week, thinking about reasons to, give thanks to God. And, this thought came to mind. And I was like, well, let me just share. This might encourage somebody out there, and this might help somebody out there. So I hope this has blessed you. Um, if this is your first time on my channel, please do not forget to subscribe and share this video to your friends. Thank you for watching. Bye.